Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. The Habs won the game. Awesome. Shootout win for Montreal. Nick Suzuki winning it in the shootout. And it was a pretty good game. I've got the game stats for you. The 3 stars. And what else I got here? Whatever I get from the game after the game. The goal scorers, that kind of stuff. We can talk about the game and whatever else you guys want to talk about. And it's right here at Talking Abs. Let's see who's here. If you are here, please say hi and let's get to talking. Guru, first one in. Welcome back, Guru. How about that? Good to see the Habs. Keep it going with the wins. Team is definitely evolving. They definitely are. Highway robbery by Allen looks like he's staying the starter. Could be. Hey, Joe, welcome back. Yeah, I mean, listen, 45 shots he faced, and he had a good game. I think overall Montreal had a good game. They had that little hiccup in the second period to open up the period. 33 seconds in, they'd given up 2 goals, but they didn't. It didn't get them down. They fought their way back, and just never give up attitude. And it's a lot of fun to watch. So it was a good game to watch. A win is a win no matter how it happens. That's absolutely right. Right? Even if you played shitty and you won, it's still a win. But this was good. The fact that they didn't give up on themselves, they didn't get down, they didn't feel they were out, and they just battled back. It's what you want to see, right? We were talking about it during the game that it was under Coach Dom. If they gave up the first goal, the game was over, pretty much. So this is a lot better to watch. All right, so I'll wait a little bit. I'll show you the stats. We'll wait till we got like 10 people in the room. How's that? Right now, there's only 7. Hopefully, some more. But tell me what you thought of the game. I don't know where I'm going with that. Well, we were talking about this actually in the game. What do you guys think about that idea about the Habs re-signing Sean Monahan and not moving him at the deadline? Curious to what y'all think about that, and I'll come up with some other things too. But what do you guys think about that? Because I think people are starting to talk about it now, and it makes a lot of sense, depending on what you got to sign, what the cap hit is. But it makes a lot of sense. I'm for that. As long as I want to see a little bit longer in the season, but I mean, I like what I see so far. Brad, we don't have any confirmation of that though with Matheson, right? To say it's another injury, yes, he kind of hurt himself. That's why he was out of the game at the end. But maybe they didn't send him back into the game just out of precaution, And if that's the case, doesn't mean it's an injury, right? So we'll have to see. I'm not saying it's not an injury, but I don't know necessarily that it is. But yeah, I mean, it's unexplainable the amount of injuries this team is able to compile. I mean, it's not on the trainers. Getting injured on the ice is not on the trainers. So I don't know what's going on. Is our luck going to be that bad again this year? 3 years in a row. It's really unheard of. 3 years in a row to lead the league in man games lost, but we're well on our way. All right. If this is sustainable, we may see Habs in playoffs. I am not sure it is, though. I don't think this is sustainable like this, no. Not right now. There will be a season where it will be. I don't think this is it. So enjoy it while we got it. And I do think, though, we'll see this team probably hang around in a race for, I don't think they're going to drop off to the bottom tomorrow. But I think slowly over the season, at some point, they do drop off. But yeah, I think this team I mean, if they can stay healthy, which who knows anymore, but if they can stay healthy, this team can have a pretty good season. Joe says, I think Monahan. Oh, excuse me. I read Matheson there for some reason. If Monahan has contributed so much as at present, if he keeps going up to trade deadline, try to keep him. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I go like not even that far. If by the new year, if Matheson, if Monahan is still playing like this, hasn't been injured and all that, I would consider starting the negotiations to sign him because, yeah, to me, it makes sense. Get to work on it, see if you can work out a deal. And then trade deadline time, make that decision if you haven't been able to sign him. But to me, Monahan, everything I've heard from him, sounds like he's very happy here in Montreal. I don't think it would take much to convince him to stay, if anything. Joseph, yeah, we need to bring in some. This is not not a racist or whatever thing that I'm saying. A good Italian grandmother to lift the Malocchio off this team for injuries. They've definitely got something. Malocchio, I believe, is a curse in Italian. Call up Mayu if Matheson is out. I don't think it'll be Mayu. It'll be Lindstrom, who's still here. They'll probably call up. I'm going to say Norlander before Mayu. So we'll see. A conservative lawyer says yes, but the media said we would be last in the Atlantic. I don't think we will be last in the Atlantic. Oh, I don't think that it means we're not going to be last in the Atlantic. If we're not last, I don't think we're. I mean, we're 8th or 7th at best. There's some good teams in this division. Now, other teams could be hurt and whatever. Like the Senators, big blow. They lost Thomas Chabot to a fractured hand, out 6 to 8 weeks. That's a big loss for Ottawa, and it can affect their standings at the end. So we'll see. I think just I wouldn't be holding my hopes out that they're not going to finish on the bottom of this division. And then if they don't finish there, then even better. Well, Joe, I think that's what we saw there is that they held him out of the rest of the game because not enough time left in a game that to take a chance with Matheson. And I think that's what they'll do. If he's not 100%, he's not going to play. I think that's where they're at. Gooley came back 100%. They announced that, and you saw the results there, right? I think it'll be the same for Matheson. That's just the way it's going to go. Conservative lawyer. By the way, just to let you know, because I misspell Sabres a lot, I always have to check. It's not spelled that way. That's like a saber-tooth tiger. I believe that's how you'd spell it. It's spelled like a sword, the saber, S-A-B-R-E. And I recently did that. I made thumbnails and I had it spelled wrong. I had to go back and change it. So just to say, Washington last in the Atlantic Division, that would be pretty awesome because they're not in the Atlantic Division. So I'd be pretty hard for them to do. Hey, Randy, how you doing? Randy, yeah, for the early games, I'm doing post-game, but on Monday, there'll be a pre-game show. So it's a 10 o'clock start, not doing a post-game show at like 12:30. So, yeah, depending on the time of the start, anything 8 o'clock and earlier will be a post-game show. Anything after 8 will be a pre-game show. That's how this year is going to go. Glad that Armia showed them naysayers. Okay, he had a goal. I mean, was he super fantastic all game? I don't know about that. I just hope that goal gets somebody interested in him. Brad, you'll be happy to know that I'm gathering up cards. I think I have enough soon. I'll have enough soon to do that again. I've been gathering them up. as I find them. And yeah, we'll get that done again soon. Also, I'll say this: the next time you see me, I don't know if I'll do a video tomorrow. I won't have time Monday. We'll be on that pregame show, but also, well, I guess not the next time you'll see, but we're doing a video podcast on Monday for Halloween. It's not Halloween on Monday, and it's not a live video podcast. It's pre-recorded. It'll come out on Tuesday, which is Halloween. We'll be dressed for Halloween. And yeah, so I hope you guys will check that out. So just a reminder, I want to remind you that the podcast, third episode, I'm not really in it. Just at the end, the three boys took it over because I was doing a live stream. I don't know if I'm happy to say or not. I mean, I'm kind of proud to say that episode hasn't done as well. But overall, I'm not as happy. I'm shocked though. I really thought their episode would do better than the ones I'm on. So I encourage you guys to go out and give that a play. There's a link in the description of this video. All the videos tonight. There's a link there that'll get you right there. Please give that a listen. That's the Pucking Around podcast, episode 3, episode 4 out on Tuesday, and this time video and audio podcast. So depending on how you like to listen to it, you'll have both options. Would I like to see, no, Randy would like to see Anderson and Newhook if they can get going. To see them get going. Newhook had a good start, but then kind of cooled off. His play's been good, just there's no points there. Andy's just, yeah, I don't know. I think Andy's just hit one of his streaks where he doesn't get a lot of offense to start the season. He's a streaky player. I hope that's all it is for Andy. We'll have to see. Remember, it's only 8 games in. I wouldn't get overly concerned yet. Although, I mean, 8 games, you're getting to that point where you start to get concerned, I guess, but not just yet. All right. So we need some more questions. And if you're here, by the way, give a thumbs up if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying this. I appreciate that. That's just a rock star. That's nothing. It's fruit punch. It's hard to tell what it's in this here thing, but yeah, that's all it is. And I should stop drinking it. I don't really need any energy drink now, although it's not working at this point anyway, so it doesn't matter. Leafs lost. Guru delivers the other good news of the night. Awesome. What was the score? Oh, I can find that out. Let me, I can do that, but I'm going to also, almost forgot. Let's look at the stats from the game. All right. Here's the stats from the game. Shots on goal, Winnipeg 45, Montreal 29. So that's happened the last 2 or 3 games we've been outshot. They got to cut back on shots. We weren't the best team on faceoffs again this game. So 60% for Winnipeg, 40% for Montreal. We were better on the power play with a 1 for 2, and they were 0 for 4. Let's see. We out-hit them by a big margin, 18 to 7 hits, and outblocked them 19 blocks to 10. So overall, a good night. We were overall the better team. And on the scoreboard, we were the better team in a shootout. Lowry leads it off unassisted at 4:28 of the first. Barron ties it up right after. Was that 37 seconds later with a wrist shot from Harvey Pinard and Gooley. Second period, Lowry from Niederreiter and Appleton. 15 seconds in, it was not a good start to the second period on a wraparound. Niederreiter, basically 18 seconds later, from Appleton on a backhand shot. And then that was it for Then Monahan at 8:23 of the second, on a backhand to make it 3-2. In the third period, Armia with the tie goal. 154 of the third on a wrist shot. And then in the shootout, Nick Suzuki scores on the first shot And that would be all the scoring in the shootout. So Montreal would win this game. 3 stars of this game. Caden Gooley had 2 assists. He's the first star. Second star, Adam Lowry with 2 goals. And Jake Allen, third star, 277 goals against and a 933 save percentage in this game. And he was good enough to win. And that's the stats from the game. So overall, Montreal was better. Not by a ton, but these teams were very close as far as the stats and all that stuff coming into this game. So not a shock that, that it was a pretty close game overall. So, good game to watch. It was a good game here because Luca joined us and good conversation. So I apologize during games like that. I don't pay enough attention to you guys in the chat. I do apologize. But, I mean, this was good conversation with Luca, and we learned a little bit medically. So it's always good with our resident doctor. So he's not a doctor yet, but he's going to be one soon. Well, soon, relatively soon, right? Takes forever to get that degree. So, but really smart kid, Luca, and I love the fact that he comes around every now and then and enlightens us on some things. So it's good stuff. And also kind of a personal friend of Arbor Jackeye. More of an acquaintance from school. But apparently he said he saw Arbor somewhere here because Luca came in for the season opener, I believe. And Arbor said hi. I remembered him and all that. And I think that's just awesome, But yeah, there you go. Where am I? OT loss for the Leafs, so they get a point. But they lost. That's what matters. 2 wins in a row for Montreal. Yep, and we stopped the Jets 3-game streak, so that's also nice. What? Well, it's only me. It's only me here. But Joseph, what do I think of Slav's game? Basically, the way he's been playing, he had a couple good opportunities. He's doing some of the small things good. He's making a mistake here and there. Overall, Slav is developing. I don't know. That's all I can say. Has he been super fantastic? No. But he also hasn't been the Slav of last year. He doesn't look out of place as much at all. I'm okay with it still. Don't think, if you're getting at, does he need to go to the AHL? Not yet. Besides, sending him down to the AHL, that's a stacked team. They have too many players down there as it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that in Laval, he's going to get all that ice time and all that stuff you guys want. So maybe he is better off here overall. And I think he's progressing and developing, and I'm okay with that. Justin Barron looking like a monster. Really? I thought he's a handsome dude. Can't take him out of the lineup. No. And they're not. So, no, I agree. He's not coming out. If Gooley was back, which D was out? Lindstrom. Lindstrom, who came in basically to fill in for him, he sat in the press box. Both Barron and Gooley had amazing games. Yeah, I think so. Barron was really good. Gooley was really good. From Gooley, I don't even expect less anymore. From Barron, I'm not surprised either. Barron is going to be a really good defenseman. And, both years in a row, right? They call him here. They didn't have to call him back up, but when he got a shot in the lineup, he just hasn't looked back. He did the same thing last year when they called him up. So not a shocker. And we made the point. Where was that point made? On Saturday Hockey Talk this afternoon? Sidney Crosby practices with this kid in the offseason. Knows the kid well and really said that was a really bad trade for Colorado to trade him away. They're going to regret it. Looking like they might. Monahan looking strong in front of the net for the power play. Monahan just playing well, right? Monahan's a good player, intelligent player, playing well this season. And I just hope that he keeps that up all year. And I think he will. And the talk of signing him to a long-term deal is going to get stronger, I would imagine. And I would have to think, as I said it in the stream, you got to think Hughes and Gordon already thinking along those lines with Monahan, right? That possibility is there. They're talking about it. They're deciding, like, that's got to be already in the works. And at some point in the season, if he keeps playing like this and we're getting to Christmas time, I got to think they start maybe negotiating a potential deal with the agent. So, well, we'll see what happens. I would think Monahan wants to stay. I don't see why he wouldn't. I think he's got a good home here. It's a great city to play hockey in. And I would think he want to stay. Just what's the cap hit going to be? But I think we can start having that conversation about Monahan. I wish I had more for you guys from the game, but post-game is more about we just talk about the game. I don't do a great breakdown, honestly. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. So, and I guess I'm making excuses. Am I making excuses? Maybe I am. I want questions. 20 people in the room. If you're here, talk to me in the chat. Say hi. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you thought about how Caden Gooley played in his first game back. Things like that. Jake Allen was really good tonight. He's been really good. Even I guess you could say maybe the first game, right, against the Leafs. Other than that, Jake Allen's been good in his other 3 starts, like really good. So I guess, is there a goalie controversy right now between Monty and Allen? I'm going to chip in and say I don't think so, but I think it's good competition between them. They push each other, and we'll see how Caden Primo fits in. Well, there's a good question. What do they do about the 3 goalie situation? I don't think it's sustainable to have 3 goalies. I don't think it's good for the goalies. But what do they do about Primo is the problem. I don't know. Top Shelf Hockey Guy said Monahan's stock is going up. Duh. How could it not, right? It doesn't take a great intellect to figure that out, number one. And that's a good point, as far as they also don't want to wait till his stock goes up so much that it makes it that they can't sign him to a good cap hit. So it might behoove them to maybe sign him at a certain point ahead of the trade deadline if they're going to do that. Matt, I agree with you. I don't know if they can keep up that pace, but maybe, I think they're going to play at a better pace than last year for a certain amount of time. Like, I think there's a run in this team, probably into February. So, but I don't think they're going to win at this pace necessarily, but I think they're going to be in there for a while. And if they keep playing like this, they're just never out of a game. I mean, there'll be games when they get blown out. That'll happen when, but in general, they're not out of a game, right? So sky's the limit. It just won't happen this year. Joseph says it was one of those cannot sit still because they weren't in sync. I don't get what you mean by that. I think it was a rough start, maybe. They had some rough periods of the game, but overall, when they went down 3-1, they rallied back pretty good. I thought they were pretty good the whole rest of the way. Brad, did Top Shelf Hockey Guy really say that Colby Armstrong will be the next coach of the Leafs? Did he really say that? I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I don't know enough about the situation, but I'm curious if he really said that. Joseph Gooley's just really good, right? Defensively, that stick of his, it's like easily the fourth, fifth time in games that I've seen that stick flash out like that in a defensive situation, and just stop a play from happening dead in its in its tracks. Gooley's going to just be great. Going to be a great player. Imagine being in your second year as a defenseman now and playing at the level he's playing at right now. That's just awesome. You give this kid 2 more years, 3 years, and he will be. He'll be at the top. He'll be at the top of the league amongst those great players that'll be there with him. Guru, a good point, right? When Doc comes back next year, it'll be like getting it. Well, what I really like though, I really like the fact that this team has recovered from losing Doc. It's a big loss at so early in the season, and they maybe for a game it affected them, and then I think they've just been able to just march forward, and that's really good. And a team that can do that. Injuries, they're bad, but they don't affect you as hard, right? Because that could have been just ruined the season, and you know what? It hasn't at all. Doc being out hasn't really ruined where I thought they would be and where they'd go this season, and just means probably if Doc was here, we'd be even better. Gooley and Barron naturals as a pair. Is that who he played with? I thought, right, because Kovacevic was with Matheson. Yeah, listen, there's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of different combinations you can probably put together with this team on any given night, any given situation that guys will be almost, mix and match kind of thing. Top 4 anyway. But definitely Gooley and Barron were good tonight. Well, we're getting down to the last few minutes here of the stream. So if you're out there and you haven't asked a question that you want to find out about, ask. If I know the answer, I will definitely tell you before we run out of time. It's Saturday night, not yet 11. There's plenty of time. Still have a good night if you have plans. And if you're like me, well, you're just going to go make supper after. That's all. I guess I'll remind you again, Monday, 10 o'clock start for Vegas. So it's a late game. I'll be doing a pregame show for that. And we'll be filming our podcast that night as well. And that'll come out on Tuesday. So please look for those things. In the meantime, if you're still looking for a little bit of hockey from the Talking Habs crew, check out the podcast, episode 3. That was from last Tuesday. It is in the description. There's a link. You can click that, and you'll find all 3 episodes. Give that a listen to, and hopefully you like that. Leave us a message. You can leave a voice message there when you're there, and give us a follow. We'd all appreciate that. And I think that's it. We're at the half hour. Nobody seems to want to talk much tonight. Yeah, I'm going to take off here. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to add to that. So listen, thanks everybody for being here all night and this afternoon. Everybody that was here, I appreciate that. And we'll be back soon. So have a good night. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And like I said, enjoy the rest of the evening. It's still young. It's a Saturday night. And I'll speak to y'all soon. Have a good one. Ciao, everybody.